Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's YouTube video, we're going to be talking about the contraceptive implant. So the implant is a contraceptive rod. It's just like a small plastic stick that a doctor or nurse will put up into the back of your arm, and it basically just slowly releases a hormone. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's on the screen. What the hormone will do is it will thicken the cervical mucus and it will thin the lining of the uterus. It would be harder for you to get pregnant because if a sperm had entered that area, it wouldn't be able to like release the egg and like keep the egg there, and that can also suppress ovulation completely, which means no periods. It usually lasts for about 3 years, but I had mine in for 5. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to talk to you about my personal experience and kind of weigh out the pros and the cons, and also take you to the doctors with me and get my implant removed and replaced. So if you have the implant already, this could be helpful to you because I'm someone that's had the implant for 5 years plus, or if you don't have the implant and you want to get it and you want to weigh out the pros and cons, this could also help you make your decision. So I'm now going to cut to my vlog section of this, and then we're going to come back to the advice. So you can skip to here if you just want advice, and if you want to watch the vlog, then carry on watching. I'm actually going to get my contraceptive implant taken out today. I'm really nervous to get this implant out. I've been on the waiting list to get it out for a while. It's overdue. I think it's about 5 years old. I got it when I was 15. I thought I'd take you with me for moral support, and then also we can talk about it when I get home. I was going to go to Oxford to get it taken out because that's where my clinic normally is. I'm going to go to one in Didcot because they have no other places for me to get it out. It's an hour and a half away and I'm too scared to take public transport. Ugh, I hate car journeys, so hopefully I'll be okay. I've got a playlist sorted out on my Spotify, so hopefully I'll be fine. But yeah, this is a nice spacious Uber. It's nice. Okay, I'll see you guys when I'm there. I'm here. I'm in the hospital now, but I'm waiting and I'm really nervous. So I was not actually able to film the procedure itself, but I will basically describe what happened in the moment that I wasn't filming. As I walked into the office, my doctor had sat me down and we basically just talked about risk of pregnancy. I have not been having sex. There was no risk of pregnancy, but she obviously had to make sure that I wasn't pregnant, because if she was to take out my implant and replace it with an implant that was in date and working, that could potentially harm my fetus. But my pregnancy test was of course negative. I laid down onto this long bed thing, which I took a picture of on my Snapchat because I was really nervous. Put like a sheet of plastic underneath me, I'm assuming for the blood, because there was going to be some blood with this procedure, and she said slight scratch, which they always do when they inject you, and she injected me with the numbing to stop me from feeling any pain. But the good thing about the doctors when they are removing your implant is that they should always test to see if the anesthetic is working, because they will poke you with something to see if it hurts, and if it hurts in the slightest, they will inject you again with some numbing anesthetic just to make sure that you're good. And when I could not feel my arm at all, she said that she was going to get to work. She basically made a really small incision in my arm, and I could feel that she was like in there with some tweezers and she was like picking at it because it wasn't coming out. But that's kind of what made me feel a little bit dizzy, because I could hear the picking in my ear with the tweezers of it, just like I could hear it. And then I could also feel some kind of like liquid coming out, which was really warm. So I was like, okay, I'm bleeding, and like she's picking at it, and it made me feel really sick. But like other than that, I was fine. But then after the procedure was done, she was really kind, and she actually handed my phone so that I could vlog the aftermath. So I just got my implant taken out. My arm is here. I feel really dizzy, so I'm laying down, but it's here. Look at it. It's just a little stick. It's really small. I don't know what I expected it to look like because I didn't look at it the first time when I got it put in, but it's really small and cute, so. And it just looked really weird. It was just laying there next to me. So now we'll move on to basically me just checking in with you guys on how the bruising is and how everything is looking. I just got home like an hour or so ago. My arm doesn't even hurt. It looks like this. Excuse if you can see the hairy armpit. I haven't waxed yet, but yeah, no, it was actually not that bad. It actually went a lot smoother than I thought. No bruising yet. Hi guys, it's been about 2 days since I've had my implant put in, but yeah, I'm about to take the bandage off because it keeps peeling off, and I wanted to do it with you because like I've not actually looked at it yet, and I thought, you know what, it's been 2 days, you can see the line with the bruises, you can see that it's peeling, may as well take it off. Excuse the mess in the background, it's laundry day. This shit is really stuck on there quite hard. Ow. Ooh, that's the blood, not that much. Oh my gosh, the hole is literally so tiny. Tiny little incision there, tiny. So that's how it's looking 2 days after I got it taken out and replaced. I would try and push it out so you can see the new one in there, but I'm not going to do that because it is still quite tender. Hey guys, it's day 4 with the implant. I'm going to show you guys a new angle of it. It kind of looks a little bit more bruised now. It doesn't hurt though, like I can touch it now. I'll show you guys. Sorry if this is kind of gross, but I can push it up and you can see that it moves around freely now. and that the entrance hole is completely closed. The bruise is actually really bad today. Like, this is the worst it's been. I don't think it hurts. Excuse my armpit, it's quite hairy. No, that shit does not hurt, but it's very badly bruised. My arm is still very, very bruised. It does look a bit better. I mean, does it? I don't really know. So yeah, now this is just kind of like the story, information, talking side of it. When I was about 15, just turning 16, I got my implant put in my arm. Not necessarily because I was having sex, but just because my periods were really bad. And when I heard that the implant could completely suppress ovulation, which means no more periods, no more menstrual pain, none of that stuff, I was like, great, perfect. And obviously, because it lasts a long period of time and it's not a pill that I have to take and might forget to take, it could prove to be very beneficial for me in the future, because I was gonna have it until I was like 18. I was like, I'll definitely be having a partner at some point in that time, so this will be good for me as well for that reason too, to prevent pregnancy. I'm someone that's very paranoid, so that's good for me. And the implant is one of the most effective forms of contraception. It is 99% effective. Once that implant is in place, you do not have to worry about it for about 3 years, and maybe even more than that now, because they're still studying it, so we'll have to see. However, they do say that every year that you have it in, it becomes less and less effective. 1 in 100 women will get pregnant a year with the implant. The implant completely stops ovulation, which means there'll be no egg to fertilize, even if a sperm is inside you, if a guy does not pull out. Obviously, there's going to be side effects and risks to all of these kind of things, and I'm going to just read this list off really quickly, and then we'll go into like how I personally found it and any of the side effects that I did or did not experience. Side effects associated with the implant are abdominal or back pain, an increased risk of non-cancerous ovarian cysts, changes in your vaginal bleeding patterns, so like changes in your periods, whether that means no periods at all or a consistent prolonged period, decreased sex drive, dizziness, headaches, mild insulin resistance, mood swings and depression, nausea or upset stomach, potential interaction with other medications. So like, let's say you're on another medication, it could cause problems with that medication. So always obviously make sure that you're telling your doctor what medication you're on. Sore breasts, vaginal inflammation or dryness, and weight gain. Let's go into my experience. I got the implant put in when I was quite young, about to turn 16 years old. I don't think that you need a parent present, especially if you are 16 years old. I do not think you need a parent present at all. But because I was under the legal age of consent, I did have a guardian with me, but it was not my parent. I got my implant put in. I'm gonna be completely honest, it did hurt a little bit when I got it put in, but I'm not sure that it should hurt, because getting it removed did not hurt at all. It was like a 4 out of 10, like really, really minor. Obviously, when I was 15, my pain tolerance was a lot lower. Now I have my nipples pierced, my belly button pierced, I've had my lips done, like I've had all these things done, so my pain tolerance is probably a bit higher now. But at the time, I do remember it hurt a little bit. The implant originally, when I first got it put in, was quite bad. The only reason it was bad for me is that my periods just did not stop. When I first got my implant put in, I had a period for about 3 months solidly. Bleeding was not severe. I believe for the first like 2 weeks of the period that I had for 3 months, it was quite severe. Like it was blood, talking like day 2 period blood, like very strong, heavy. But then the last couple months of it happening, it was very just like light, spotting, but it was very much a period. Like think of your last day of your period. I did go back to my doctor and I basically said like, I'm having some pretty bad side effects. I've had a period constantly for like 3 months. Is there any way to fix this? Because otherwise I don't want the implant in my arm at all. I don't know why my periods just aren't stopping. And my doctor basically advised me like, wait a little bit longer to see if your body sorts itself out, because your body is still getting used to this new hormone release. And I waited for another week and I called back and I said, no, I need this to stop, please. Can we get something sorted out? And they prescribed me to take the pill. So the pill is a contraceptive as well, but again, it's not a contraceptive that I would like to use consistently, because I'm someone that struggles to remember to take pills. I started taking the pill alongside having the implant in my arm. I stopped taking the pill after about 2 weeks when I was 16, and then I never had a period since, and I'm about to be 20. So if you are having that problem, then do go back to your doctor. Don't just let it bleed, because that could cause long-term issues if you're struggling with menstrual cramps, because I know I'm someone that struggles really badly with them. Some people though, they do actually not like the fact that this could stop your periods, because I've spoken to so many people, and whenever I talk about how I don't have periods, they're always like, oh my god, I would hate that, because whenever me and my boyfriend have sex, I like to know that if I'm scared about being pregnant, that my period's gonna come and I'm gonna be okay. But with me, I never worried about it, because I just knew that I wasn't menstruating at all, so there was no way for me to be pregnant. Do you know what I mean? I was all happy about not having any periods, and then I had another side effect. I didn't experience a majority of them. I'm actually quite blessed, but one that I did experience was weight gain. When I was younger, I was always made fun of for being quite a skinny girl. I was never really one to gain weight, and it was really, really hard for me when I was younger to gain gain weight. And when I say younger, I mean like 0 to 14. Like I was always a very small, I was tall, but I was very like slim. I had a very, very big appetite, but never seemed to gain weight. I would always eat bad. My eating habits were never really great. I would eat whatever I wanted. I'm not a fussy eater at all. I love food. It's like my favorite thing in the world. So I would eat a lot. And then after about a year of being on the implant, so when I was about 17, I started noticing that I was gaining a ton of weight. Now, I didn't really see it as a problem because the weight was mostly going to my legs and thighs and butt. And because my body type is a pear shape, I knew that that would happen. But I also started to gain boobs, and then I was thinking, there's something going on. And if you do follow me, you might know that I did a health journey recently, and I started going to the gym, and I lost quite a lot of weight. I lost about 3 stone because I've now kind of like taken control of my diet better, and I know that I can't just eat whatever I want anymore because I'm not a 14-year-old child. I'm not 100% certain that it was the implant, but I do think it was because I did go to the doctor about it because I was gaining weight quite rapidly, and the doctor basically said like if you're on any kind of like contraception, that could be part of it. So for me personally, it wasn't something that like I would gain weight and gain weight and gain weight. And even if I ate really, really good foods and like really healthy things and I went to the gym, like the weight was still pouring on. That was not the case because I was someone that never really gained weight. My appetite was always big and I would always eat what I wanted. But now that this hormonal change had occurred and I wasn't even having periods or anything, I did gain weight, and that did change a little bit of my body. But that's, you know, to be expected when you grow up. I think that's kind of like a normal thing anyway. I didn't experience any like acne or any crazy hormone spots. I do obviously get the occasional pimple, or what I would call a ghost period, where I will have cramp and I would get spots around my hormonal areas, which is just around your chin. I do have some now. I feel like that's just expected when you're a teenager. Like you're gonna get those things anyway, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. That's not something I personally experienced, but again, everyone's different with these things. As far as like my mental state, as someone that does struggle with anxiety and paranoia, and it has done for a very long time. I've always been a very paranoid and anxious person since I was very little, so I don't know if that's been amplified, but I am just an adult now with more things to worry about, so I don't know if that was anything to do with the implant. But yes, I didn't experience any depression or crazy mood changes or anything like that. Mood swings, I would say I did experience, but it was never anything too severe. I do think alongside what I said previously with the ghost periods, where you don't technically have any bleeding, but sometimes you do have menstrual cramps or like pimples, and sometimes you have cravings and you do have mood swings. That is just, I feel like, common with any hormonal teenager, but with the implant, I do feel like it probably does amplify that, as it is already a known side effect. So do take that into account as well. But from personal experience, again, these things were not crazy things that I was struggling with. The only side effect that I can say I had consistently was the completely no period. Also, sorry, I'm editing this and I just realized I haven't even given you guys like any information about pregnancy scares. I've never had one pregnancy scare in 5 years. Even when the implant was like 2 years overdue, I was still having sex and my partner was still not pulling out. Like, I was in a relationship for 6 months and he never pulled out one time. And did I ever get pregnant? No. I wouldn't advise that you do that, but she is 99% effective for a reason. So not just side effects, it's actually a good contraception. So the implant, for me personally and for my body, it worked. It's a yes, it's approved. Overall, my experience with the implant has not been bad. My only worry is that I have heard that some people, they have the implant, they have a really good experience. They get it taken out and they get it put back in, and they have a really bad experience the second time. I know it's only been a week, but I am feeling really good and I don't have any immediate complaints. And I do hope that this video has helped someone in some kind of way, and I will be sure to update you guys if I do have any problems, and I will be posting that on my social media, like my Instagram, my Snapchat, or anything like that, where I'll be posting stories and I talk all the time about everything in my life because I'm that bitch. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Especially please comment if you have the implant. I want to know about your experience with it. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.
I'm gonna kiss you on your forehead. You better stop playing with me and my menstrual cramps.